In the episode The Joyriders, a group of teens steal a car, and it's up to Captain Marvel to save the day.
Holy moly! They better be stopped before someone's hurt. Shazam!
So while Captain Marvel is flying in the air looking for these kids, the kids are flying down the road like maniacs. Or are they?
Slow down, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. You're totally going way too fast, dude. So if you notice the what looks like to be a blanket that's blocking the back window, the reason why they did that, of course, is because the car is actually not moving. They're just bouncing it up and down, and they're trying to block that fact from you. Now look to your far right to the top of the car, and you'll see what looks to be a parked car and a couple of stationary poles. Now whoever's driving this car in reality heads to the junkyard, driving like a maniac, and Captain Marvel is right behind him. Keep in mind, there are 4 teenage criminals here. Now see if you can spot the goof in this next scene. Well, actually there's 2. Or maybe it's more like a magic trick. Okay, just in case you missed it, let's try it one more time to see what kind of mean tricks they played on us as kids. Okay, now keep your eye on the driver. Did you see him dunk down? So remember, we've got 4 crooked teenagers coming out of that car. 4 people ought to be coming out. Well, there's 2. There's the 3rd one. That 4th one just came out of nowhere. You see his arm? Kind of makes you question reality itself, doesn't it? Now, Captain Marvel is going to get a good look at that car because he knows there's something weird going on here. You know, you have to wonder if there is not some real-life magic going on in this show. See if you can spot this goof, or is it a goof?
Well, it's great.
Did you catch that? Billy Batson sitting there playing his guitar, and then all of a sudden the guitar just changes into another guitar, right in front of our faces. And this happened on the episode Doom Buggy. In the episode The Delinquent, Captain Marvel has to save this kid from drowning. Well, actually this kid. That's Jackie Earle Haley, who goes on to play in the Bad News Bears and TV shows like Human Target and that movie. What was the name of that movie again? The Watchmen. Yeah. As Captain Marvel is flying in to save Jackie Earle Haley, let's see if you can figure out what the goof is. No, I'm not talking about the fact that Captain Marvel could fly the kid back safely without going through the water. I mean, they had a limited budget, so we'll overlook that. But what is going on here? If you look carefully at Captain Marvel's hand that's sticking out of the water just a bit, it appears as he's got a hold of something that's dragging him across the water. And of course, if you watch the whole series or have watched the whole series, you'll notice that Captain Marvel, anytime when he gets around water, instead of flying around, he gets in the water and he shoots through the water. Which, you know, the show had a lot of great flying scenes, I mean, for a 70s Saturday morning TV show. But you have to remember that they had a limited budget and limited time. So they probably just went with the easiest route possible. And that's why, thus the being dragged across the water and still flying over it. Oh, and one more thing. It looks like Jackie Earle Haley has been replaced by a dummy in this particular scene. See if you notice this next goof from The Gang's All Here.
They're coming back.
I can't undo this.
Get out of here.
But I can't just leave you here.
Well, technically, he could get up and walk and follow you out.
Get out of here.
Okay, now see if you notice this next goof.
Shazam!
Did you catch it?
Get out of here. Shazam!
It appears in the transformation sequence that the ropes have been burned off, so there's no need for Captain Marvel to break them.
You dig?
This next one's pretty easy to spot. I think even on a black and white television getting reception from an antenna, without HD or anything else way back in the 70s, I think you'd probably be able to see this. I mean, the rest of it looks pretty good up until you get to this point. It looks like Captain Marvel's either turned into one of those Mego action figures I used to play with, or maybe he's turned into one of the balloon people from the first season of the Super Friends. I'm not sure, but I think Captain Marvel's passed out from all that heavy lifting.
Holy moly!
Later in the episode, Captain Marvel needs the help of Isis to save the young couple from the airplane incident from a forest fire. See if you notice these very small goofs. First, Captain Marvel puts the young couple into some water, because there's fire around, which is a smart thing to do. Now Isis does her magical thing, which makes it rain. So the couple is sitting in water, and now it's raining on top of them, at least for a few seconds anyway. And so Isis comes in for a landing to greet Captain Marvel and his two young friends.
Welcome, Isis.
Yes, welcome, Isis.
Do you see anything off yet? But wait, there's a couple of more things that you should look for.
Yes, thank you, Isis. Thank you very much.
That goes double for me.
Boy, those kids sure did get dirty.
I think I've learned something very important. If a man like Captain Marvel can accept help, I sure can.
So did you catch all that? The first thing is, despite having sat in water and being rained on, the kids are perfectly dry. Now, giving them the benefit of the doubt, perhaps some time has passed, but it doesn't appear so. Now, their faces seem remarkably clean from one angle to the next. Now, of course, it could be because it's a different angle, somehow we're not seeing the dirt, but these two shots were definitely taken at different times, because if you'll notice, the girl's hair is, sometimes it's in front of her shoulder, and other times it's behind her shoulder. Now, none of that messes up the episode at all, of course, but I really am wondering how those kids got dry so fast in the context of the story. The episode Bitter Herbs has a lot of great special effects for a Saturday morning show in the 70s, and it has a few misses and a few goofs. But it's like Michael Jordan said, you got to keep shooting and sometimes missing in order to score. You take this shot of Cap lifting the bad guy's truck. It looks awesome, but it defies the law of physics, right? I mean, if Cap is strong enough to hold the truck in the air by one end, he would have to be grabbing it, not simply having his hands in a lifting motion. And I don't think the end of the truck could support the weight of the entire truck, lifting it up in the air like this. And then when he sets it down, lifting from the middle, which makes better sense, the scene otherwise doesn't look as impressive anymore. Almost looks like Cap is walking back over the top of a pitcher. Now, did you catch the goof in this shot? So in this shot, of course, Captain Marvel's supposed to still be lifting the truck. You notice that one of his hands is actually empty. Yes, I know what you're thinking, that perhaps in the 70s, with the curvature of the screen of a television set back then, may not have been able to see this. Don't know. Very possible. But definitely see it now. It kind of looks like Captain Marvel's praying for rain or something, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
We'll return to Shazam after these messages.
Don't go anywhere yet. We've got the biggest Shazam Isis goof of the entire series. Both of them. Coming up. Hey, just want to let you guys know I am working on a cartoon for my Freddy Cat Cartoons channel. It's a work in progress. It's kind of based on the old Tex Avery Droopy Deputy cartoon.
And now, back to Shazam.
In the episode Finders Keepers, Isis and Shazam team up again, and this time some criminals run into a cave.
Don't go in.
But the tunnel may open up on the other side of the mountain. They'd get away.
I can't figure out why Isis doesn't want Captain Marvel to just go in there and get the crooks. I mean, maybe they're trying to teach kids to stay out of scary caves. I'm not sure what's going on here.
If you could loosen the ground, I could pull it out from under them.
It's worth a try.
Or you could just walk in there and get them.
Fiery powers in the earth's core deep arise and tremble beneath their feet.
All Jeannie had to do was blink, or Samantha just had to twitch her nose to get things done. When I was a kid, I can't believe that I bought that Captain Marvel could shake the entire ground with that little bitty stick. But I did. Now here's the goof. Isis didn't just loosen up the ground, she turned it into carpet. Now when I was a kid, I was probably thinking, how do I do this trick when I'm playing in the dirt?
I'll take that.
I couldn't have done it without you, Isis.
My pleasure.
No, Cap, you couldn't have just walked in there and grabbed those two normal crooks. You know, I bet he was trying to butter Isis up so he could get a date with her.
See you soon.
You know, I don't think it worked. Well, now that we've found a few funny goofs here and there, I have to say, all in all, Shazam was one of my favorite series growing up. That and the 6 Million Dollar Man, Incredible Hulk, Wonder, well, you know. But you have to appreciate how they always had a good common sense, down-to-earth moral every episode.
Those who act dishonestly to win walk in disgrace. The honest way is the best way.
Today you found out that making one mistake isn't the end of the world.
The important thing about a person is not the color of his hair or skin, his religion, or whether he's tall or short, skinny or fat. What is important is something called character.
Hey, what's your hurry? Check out my Shazam Facts video and the other 70s Shazam adventure, The Legends of the Superheroes. Also has Adam West and Burt Ward. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and hit the like and hit the bell for future notifications, and subscribe if you hadn't already. And well, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Y'all have a great day.